We are live with our review of the first episode of the Continental. Our John Wick series keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and moving forward. Definitely an interesting word to build. Because at the beginning it gives you this vibe of like this old thing, or like you're in the 70s or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
even before in the 50s. But I really like how it was fast paced. Definitely some influence from some Godfather styles,
Mm-hmm.
but it's good that they made it fast paced because look, it doesn't matter how much you love The Godfather. If you put it right now, it's too slow for people. I don't think people can sit the whole 3 hours the
Mm.
same way they could have done it back in the 70s. So I'm really
It's
glad
slow burn.
things. I'm really glad things are very fast paced here. I'm intrigued of Winston's background story
Yeah,
because
I'm glad they did that.
yeah, and you can also see the concept of the Godfather there because if you think about it, Michael Corleone, he didn't really want to be part of this whole
Mm-hmm.
word at the beginning, but then he kind of got dragged into it after
Back into it.
after his father died and like his brothers started doing weird stuff. So here we kind of see the same thing. Is the big brother is telling Winston like, hey, and this is like something that was really interesting. He's like, I don't want you to be part of this. That's why I kept pushing you out of it. And then if you think about it, Winston is going to be leading the Continental for 40 years after that. So that was like quite an interesting point, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was really good. I like that part.
Yeah, I mean, to your point about the Godfather, uh, I believe it's what was his name? Sonny. His
Yeah,
older brother's name was Sonny.
yeah.
Sonny is the propelling force that gets Michael really into the family business. Like, his other family was welcoming to it, but they also kind of always identified that Michael was not really. He's not in the business. He's not gonna do the business. But Sonny was like, "Nah, I come in the business." But when you have like a propelling force like this that introduces your protagonist into like this environment, into this organization, whatever the organization is, um, you kind of have to. The propelling force has to blow itself out, basically. Like if if Sonny brings Michael into the family, Michael can't all of a sudden overturn Sonny and become the Godfather. It'd be Sonny's first. He's the next in charge. He's the kappa. Well, he didn't because Sonny dies. Well, Frankie is the propelling force for Winston. Winston's not in the organization, but Frankie is kind of getting him into it. But like, I just don't think Frankie's about to be a hotel manager. So, um, it's interesting when you watch shows like this because whenever I watch shows with all these characters, I'm like, all right, what's their place? What's their role? What's the pattern? Like, what are they? Where can they go? What are they even allowed to do? Um, and so I'm wondering, like, can Frankie even survive these 3 episodes? Like, is the show only 3 episodes long? Also, because I don't only watch episode one, but and I don't want to be like a prophet, but I'm just like, there's not gonna be enough time for 3 episodes. Like, they just established so much
Yeah,
in episode one.
so many characters,
Yes, and like cool
so many
characters,
characters.
like some pretty cool characters. But yeah, like they established a lot in episode one. I was like, is this only 3 episodes? Are we sure? Like, for sure not. For sure, like season two's already on the way or something. Like, um,
But no, definitely it's the idea how like Frankie tells him like, I don't want you to be part of this,
yeah.
and
But I am now because of you. So
but I am now because of you. And
yeah,
obviously, it's not like Winston was portrayed as this like boring character where he's like, I
yeah,
really hate my brother or I really love my brother. He pretended the whole time that he hated him, but then he's his brother. Like he wants to go get him
yeah.
and find him. So that was an interesting subverted expectation from the writing, and definitely I like the way Winston was being portrayed here and his development. And it's really about a journey of how he gets into this business from the first place. And
Yeah.
you could like see what he could have been and what he ended up being. And what the most interesting part is how Frankie was portrayed as this badass guy with long hair and a beard. And who's that? That's exactly John Wick, who becomes Winston's best friend later. Like this was intentional, right? Like this is not a coincidence that they cast someone who looks exactly like
Yeah.
shape size like John Wick. Like they're telling us that
Yeah.
John Wick later is going to be Winston's brother, basically. that's what they were telling us in the first episode. That
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
yeah, like
Yeah, I thought the discount. Yeah, that's what I called him when he first came on the screen. He was like doing his action scene in the beginning. I was like, is this discount John Wick? Like, is this not John Wick? Like, but like again, it's the downgrade from cinema to television, from movies to television, and just budget. It's just budget.
yeah,
It's just budget, and it's not even effort necessarily. It's just budget. Like budget is effort in a way. Like budget pays for effort. So like going from 4 movies of Keanu's really high level stunt work, like, and again high level, like he is really good at his stunts. Like he's really good. Um, to this guy like doing it, he looks just like every other stunt guy doing it. So it's like, okay, like where's Keanu? Bring him back. Like I don't want to. Okay, okay. I'm glad it wasn't that long, but it was stylish. Him jumping out of windows and stuff like that. Like that was cool. That's cool. Is it impossible? No, no. You can absolutely jump out of a second-story window and easily nail the landing. Absolutely. If you're trained to do it, especially, yeah. What? Of course. But like, to do it is sick. Like to do it and have the shot and have the city in the background, like all that. The cinematography is really good. I have enjoyed. I enjoyed a lot of the shots that they provided. I think that they have a good idea on what the scenes are looking like before they're even like putting the characters together to have these conversations. That's really really good planning as for the team. A lot of projects don't get that benefit. You kind of have to make things happen as they happen because like the script's already written and you're bringing it to life on set.
I mean, the script definitely helps because if sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your take. But,
No, you're good.
if you think about it, the way they were giving out the information was really smooth. It's like if you notice at the beginning, you're not really understanding what's happening, right?
Right.
But as like
Exposition.
Meets all other characters and all of that, you start to like understand the world building more and like who the people that Frankie met in Vietnam and what they were doing together right now here in New York, and now because like after the Vietnam War there was a big economic crisis, etc. So you could kind of understand the world building there, and this is really good because like when people would write TV like 10, 20 years ago, they would focus a lot on exposition and a lot of dialogue, a lot of unnecessary talking, because people when they watch TV, they don't focus a lot on what they're watching. They're doing other stuff. Like they take that into consideration. They're standing, they're walking, they're texting, whatever. But here, it's like you said, like it was a downgrade from movie to TV, but they were still giving us the good writing of John Wick. They were giving us the stunts.
Yeah.
Yes, the stunts weren't as good, but it's because John Wick raises the bar so high, you just get used to these stunts, right?
Exactly.
This is also one of the reasons I hated what they did in Squid Games at the end, because we were doing it, they were watching it around the time we were watching John Wick, and like when you watch all these John Wick stunts, and then suddenly she goes back to the island and has this stupid fight where the 180-degree rule isn't working, you're like, oh, that's a big downgrade.
Big downgrade. So episode 1 was pretty good though. It's really well paced. It's really well written.
Exactly.
And again, the cinematography is pretty solid. Can they do it for 3 episodes in a row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't remember. I watched a lot of anime too. And one of the notorious thing that happens in anime is that episode 1 is the pitch episode. It's the pilot or sometimes, and so a great deal of budget goes into it. Like the animation's really smooth and all the fights are really incredible and the character artwork's really nice. And then episode 2 comes out, and it's like all the budget's gone.
20 years.
And I'm like, what? What happened? And it's been like that for 20 years, to be honest. It's just like that. Like watch Inuyasha, like the first episode of Inuyasha, 2004, right? Or 2001, excuse me. And then like the next 2 episodes, and you're like, wait a minute, bro, what happened to like the hair blowing in the wind in every scene, and like the clothes like reacting to body movements, and then like in the next episodes, like everything's really blocky and much more. It's budget. It's just budget. But the same thing happens in real TV shows. And like not Walking Dead. Think of The Walking Dead. They maintained a heavy production effort throughout the entire series. Whoa. Throughout the first season entirely. I mean, obviously some other seasons, but not every single season. Not every single season. yeah, let's see. I'm curious to see if they can maintain the quality of this. I'm interested in only a few characters though. Some characters are cool, and I'm ready to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see like the mercenary fighting, because that's really what John Wick is all a lot. You know what I'm saying? Not all about, but like that's a lot of it. That's a lot. The action is not sports action. It's mercenary assassins fighting each other's
Yeah.
action. It's cool. These aren't just like regular guys from the street brought in to beat each other up for $20. These are highly trained world class assassins. So I'm excited to see like what the other characters are. I'm not scared of Cormac though. I don't.
Who's that?
Mel Gibson's
Mel
character.
Gibson. Mel Gibson. Yeah. 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 I mean,
I'm
yeah.
like, who is like? Are you? I don't know if I should trust him. I feel like. I don't know. I don't think I would not trust him. I guess like. Is he gonna be the big bad? Is he gonna be is he the final boss? Is he like, cause there's gonna be a major plot twist? He's gonna become the bad guy? Like, does he save the day? Like,
I mean, we definitely want to know how Winston takes over the Continental, and I assume he's gonna take it over from Mel Gibson's character,
Right.
because he does mention in the John Wick series movies that he's been managing the Continental for 4 years, which is around the time that this these events are happening, right? So we assume that Mel Gibson is the last. I mean, if you think about it, also Sharon is the concierge of Mel Gibson, so he's
oh wait, what was that person's name?
Sharon, Lance Reddick's character, the young version.
Oh yeah. Sharon,
Yeah.
that's right. I was like, wait, who?
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, so he's the concierge now. So if you think about it, it's probably got to be Winston who takes over the Continental.
Oh,
after.
he's young. That's right. He looks young.
Yeah, and he was introduced in a nice way. When Mel Gibson's like, "Hey Sharon, do you want to like whatever do something?" And then they put the camera on him, and you're like, "Oh, that's his young version. Oh, that's cute."
Oh yeah, they got the young African dude. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was at the end. I was it is long though. I think the hour is fair, because they probably have a lot of stuff to shoot. Because again, episode 1 is full of stuff. I'm like, wow, you can't end this the next episode. Like, there'd be no way. Like, so and again, two more episodes just doesn't make sense either. So for sure they're gonna have a continuation. I'm not even worried about it anymore. As I've said it 4 times now in this right here on this video already, I've determined that there is more than 3 episodes. There's no way. It doesn't even make sense.
I mean, I don't mind.
I've written too many scripts in my life. I've written one too many pages in my dainty life for you to tell me this is a 3-episode series. I don't believe it.
Maybe they were just testing it and see how it's accepted by the audience or whatever.
Oh, you think so?
Because remember, like this is right after John Wick 4, so. Like,
yeah, I mean,
this is literally the part where they were transitioning from ending the franchise or making it even bigger. I think this is where this is the time where the decision was going to be made. And they noticed, look, John Wick 4 was great, probably this is a great series, we're going to expand. And they are expanding. They did Ballerina, and hopefully Kane and John Wick 5 are coming. So I feel that maybe the only reason they did 3 episodes was, I mean, we'll see. We'll probably see by the end what happens. But
how do you feel about that? How do you feel about like shows, instead of doing one episode pilots, and they should do like 3 episode pilots? Like, give us three solid and hard level episodes. If people love it, finish out your season, get your 6 in, get your 12 in, get your 24 in.
You want to talk about it in general, or is it in specific to this series? Because I feel like with the Continental, like they're transitioning from writing a 2-hour movie to writing a series, and look, the vibe is still there. So I assume there's a lot of the similar writers, a lot of the similar crews there.
For sure.
So I don't think they were writing it in a way that like, hey, we need to write it as a series. They were like, we have a story. How many episodes does it take to fulfill that story?
Not 3. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
We'll see. I guess we'll know when it ends, but
yeah. I'm actually gonna go watch episode 2
right after this
in a couple hours.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna know for sure.
Yeah.
Then no way, unless episode two starts spinning. But um, I always think about like when you're writing stories, you have start points and end points for that story, but that doesn't mean the world stopped. It just you're just taking a section out of that
Mhm.
world and presenting it to somebody. Um,
I mean,
I
who knows? Maybe they were planning to make it like, I don't know, 6 episodes, but they will notice like, hey, maybe we can do 3 episodes that are longer instead of having six average length episodes. That's like that could be a
it's
thing.
bothering me. It's bothering me. I'm losing my mind. I don't know why it's bothering me this much. I feel like I need the validation. I feel like I know I know how to do this. I read a whole lot. Like I
Yeah.
read a lot. Um, I have like books all over the place. All right, the Continental
You want to know how
episode.
long it is?
Yeah, I gotta, 6 episodes. No, there's three on there. Wait,
Is it 3 or 6? Hold on.
it says it says 6 episodes, but there's only three listed, and the other four are episodes 4, 5, and 6. But they have different like a different release date, February 2024. What's happening?
I don't know. I mean, if you go to Wikipedia, it's 3 episodes. Where do you get the
Okay, yeah,
six?
from Google. I just googled it, and it was like, oh, here's more.
Yeah,
No, it should only be three
Wikipedia, like,
episodes.
and each episode is like 80 minutes, so an hour ish.
Yeah. Oh, I'm on the episode guide. I'm like, what's happening? It's like 6 episodes. I'm like, what is that? That's why I'm like, there's no. Maybe I'm right. Anyway, um, you gotta check your sources, folks.
Yeah,
Don't don't trust the immediate thing. You gotta double check.
double check.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, definitely a lot of characters, a lot of well placed characters. Again,
mhm.
it's not like this is one of the good things about John Wick, especially after the third movie. Like the third movie, they didn't do it well. They just learned from it, and the characters are well placed. Like you're following them, and you notice that it's not like some of them are like useless or whatever. They all have a
Yeah.
certain certain role to fill, and it's really interesting. And I'm glad they didn't randomly introduce characters towards later. Like it's clear everything was put in quickly. I think the only later characters that were introduced were the twins, which were in themselves
Ah,
interesting, and
but I'm sure they have much more relevance in a
later,
later episode.
yeah,
Yeah, they definitely set themselves up to be like, we'll be back. I was like, oh, nice.
yeah,
Okay, they're weird. They're
yeah.
weird as hell.
So definitely, probably some of these characters are gonna die. We saw that. I mean, I wasn't expecting Frankie to get killed that soon. I think,
I mean, he's a goner. He's the propellant. He's got to go.
yeah,
He's got to. He can't get him. He can't get Winston into the thing and then be under his shadow the whole time. Like Winston has to become a manager somehow, and that
but why do you think he
likely
killed
will.
himself? Why he killed himself? Is it because he was already dying, so he wanted to save everybody else by like distracting them? That part I didn't really understand.
Yeah, I don't really understand Frankie's character enough. Like, I understand Winston's perception of who Frankie was or whatever, like his idea of him, but like, I didn't, I don't really know if he would do that. Like, if he
Yeah,
would sacrifice himself.
I mean,
I don't
yeah,
know if
this
he.
part maybe didn't really make sense. I hope they clarify it later as to why he
Yeah,
killed
maybe
himself.
maybe there's something that happens and they're like, well, actually, it was this, and I was like, oh, nice,
Now everything
nice.
makes sense. I liked how Winston was. Again, this is something I like when you portray the protagonist. They don't portray it as someone who's like perfect and
Yeah,
is like morally does everything right. Like, cause he was
yeah,
having an affair at the beginning, and then so there's that, and then yeah, he was like scamming somebody. So he was a person who's not like that much of a
hmm
uh, morally moral person, I guess. And then you notice the change later, like he cares about family.
yeah.
Like he's willing to go, like put himself in danger just to go find his brother and save him, even though they're not doing well. They haven't spoken in like 20ish years, right?
hmm
and they are very different. They pursue different paths, and they don't talk to each other. So I like this part of how you don't have a protagonist who's just predictable. You know, they always do the most moral thing. It's like not everybody's like. I mean, nobody's like
Yeah.
that, right? Like everybody makes mistakes, and we all have our issues. So I like this part about Winston as well.
I like that he's I like that when you have a character like Winston, and when you have a cast like they use John Wick movies, like they use all these outlandish assassins. Um, it's interesting. Like protagonists, there are levels to a protagonist, right? Like some protagonists, the movie or the book or the movie or the show or the video game is like first person, like they are the central glue to every single thing that happens. But then you have characters like Winston who are the protagonist, but they're actually also just the central character. They're not the only main character.
Exactly.
There are a lot of other people who are about to find their fame and fortune in this series, I imagine,
Exactly.
and also get elevated, but also not make it. So like, he's, you know what I'm saying, but it's his journey that we're following. But it's other people's like other progressions are occurring as well. I think that's always super cool. I can't stand when shows go on forever and nothing changes. It makes me crazy. Like, unless it's like Batman the animated series, like something like that. Like, yeah, that's classic. That's like a classical cartoon. So of course that's okay. Like, you don't want to put that on today. Like, and this villain of the week, and this villain of the week, and this villain
Yeah.
of the week. Like, dude, that's come on. Who's That's hard to keep up with. Like kids, even kids today, like especially like younger generations, they do not keep up with that.
Yeah, I mean, once you give the characters essence and story and like make them relatable, this is what we really care about. Like if you look at the first episode, yes, there's all these stunts and world building and all this crazy stuff happening, but like the scene that caught me the most was when Frankie and Winston were talking at the place of the person who raised them, and he was
Mm.
telling them it was like a story of brotherhood. Like I was really compelled and attached to this scene when he was telling them, when Frankie was telling Winston like, I didn't want you to be. I took the fall for this because I didn't want you to be a part of this. You're the smartest person. You were the smarter of us. I want you to just go live your career. I don't want you to become like me. And like, this is the scene that caught me the most. You know, like, it's not really about the stunts and the actions and like fighting and killing. These are all interesting, right? But in the end, what we are attached to are how the characters are, their essence, and this was why John Wick 4 was really good because we were following like the story of Cain of how he wanted to protect his daughter, and John Wick was really in touch with his wife and he wanted to get himself out of this. So once you give the characters essence and make them relatable, this is something that will definitely put the audience on your side because I still because like I personally I never had a brother, so I
Mm.
like this scene of brotherhood was something like, okay, wait, this is something I kind of want, you know. I want this
Ah,
type of attachment, you know, like family connection.
it was cool. Um, I think it was really, again, it's a propellant for Winston as a character. You know what I'm saying? It's propellant to move forward as the story progresses. Um, it is interesting to see his reactions regarding family because it definitely shows who he's going to be, and it is like pretty consistent. Like that is kind of like something. This is a defining moment for Winston. So in the movies later on, you see how he behaves. You're like, okay, that does actually make sense. He would do this. This is how you do like a prequel, by the way. This is the whole point of prequeling something, is so you can provide additional story and additional context for characters that already exist. When you're watching this show, you don't have to worry if Winston's gonna die. Winston's gonna die. No, you don't. You know he's not. That's not the point.
Exactly, that's not the point.
Any of the action scenes he's involved in, like any of the damage he receives, those are scars. That's like damage he receives. He's not dead though. It's not, life's not on the line. I mean, it is literally, but
It's the
like
evolution of his character. Like you notice that
exactly
when he used the gun for the first time and he
right.
killed somebody, like you notice that this changed him. Like
Yes,
he's not
exactly.
ready for this. This is not his word yet. And then you think about it, like this guy's gonna be governing the Continental for 40 plus years and be best
He's
friends
likely
with
gonna
John Wick.
have very dirty hands by
Yeah.
that point.
So it's really interesting for us to see how he transitions from this point to the other. And yeah, we know he's not gonna die, but that's not the point. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
I, I, well, when you look at other other prequels like Solo, awful movie. God, that movie's terrible. I can't stand it. It doesn't provide any context. It doesn't provide anything. Like, it doesn't actually. That's not like it's Han Solo and Chewbacca's characters before like you meet them from the movies, but it's barely them, and they're not doing anything important. They're just meet and just goof off, and like it's pointless. It's pointless. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't provide anything. I imagine that when by the Continental as a prequel, it provides you with something. It'll give us more world building. It'll provide more context for certain ways behaviors occur. Or maybe you'll see the development of a new tradition here in the show that everyone else continues on there. And you're like, oh, when you watch the movies, you might have asked yourself initially like, why do people do that? But like after watching the fourth one, you don't ask yourself anymore because that's just what everyone does. But here in the Continental prequel, you might learn exactly why they did something like that, and like that's valuable. Like that is valuable if you actually care. I'm saying if you care about the world building, care about the story at all, like that provides you as an audience member with more groundwork to be a part of the fandom.
I want to ask you which one do you like more, Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul?
Oh, I haven't finished Breaking Bad, and I've never seen Better Call Saul.
Oh my god!
I know.
Even though you watched a lot of stuff,
I've watched. I know. I'm intentionally not watching Breaking Bad yet. It's on my list. I have a master list.
Better Call Saul is an example of a great prequel of character building, and look, the way I see it, if you want to know whether someone is a good writer or understands writing, if they tell you that, they should tell you that Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad, because it's the small details that only experts notice that make the series great. A lot of people will tell you Breaking Bad was better because of the pacing, because there's a lot more killing and all of that, but no, if you look at the story of Better Call Saul and the prequel, and even though it's at a disadvantage because like some characters are not gonna die because it's a prequel, right? So
yeah.
Better Call Saul.
I'll tell you right now, Breaking Bad season 1 is paced terrible, so it is a very boring season. It's
really?
Honestly, I've seen it. I've watched season 1 twice now, because I watched it for the first time back when it first came out, and I just could not care. And then I watched it again. I think on my second deployment, I tried to watch it, and I got to like halfway through the second season, and I was like, yeah, I would probably just skip the whole first season altogether. I've watched Sons of Anarchy twice, all the way through.
Oh, okay.
I actively recommend you just skip season 1. Hop right in at season 2. It's okay. I know you're gonna miss on a little couple things, but they will actually be answered by like the 3rd episode of season 2. Don't worry about it, and then you'll be caught up with everything else. And the show's incredible. Sons of Anarchy, phenomenal show. So I'm probably just gonna hop into season 2 of Breaking Bad eventually, and just because I've seen season 1 twice now. I can't do it again. I don't care.
But you didn't think that like it was like, especially the first couple episodes, like things were happening really fast, like a lot of things were happening.
That was the best part. It's the only thing. Like the first 2 episodes, actually the first 2 episodes specifically are the only interesting ones. I know. Because after that, I'm just like, okay, bro, just sell drugs. Just do it. You're gonna do it anyway. I don't care. You're not making me believe it's a battle. You want to do this. You've sought out these people. You're involved. I should get out. You're not gonna get out. Get in there and do it. I didn't want to get into it. But it is on my list. I understand that I need to watch it. I do want to see Better Call Saul though, but I understand that I do need to see Breaking Bad first.
Yeah, you do.
That's what everyone says. Like Better Call Saul is incredible, but you have to watch Breaking Bad first.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the whole show, and they're like, yeah, you gotta watch the whole show first. I'm like, I have to get every bit of Saul Goodman content possible before I go watch his show. Like, yes. Like, okay, God. Okay, I get it. No, I hear you. I feel you.
Yeah.
I think it is important. It is important to not just consume media, but how you consume it. Like what order you consume it. That matters. That really matters.
Okay. Anything else you want to discuss about the Continental?
We'll have to pick our favorite assassins eventually, but that big.
Oh, there's the character
Scottish
of the cop. Oh, the Scottish. You want to talk about the twins? Yeah, go ahead.
No, the big Scottish dude who's who's like punching Buddy in the beginning.
Punching Buddy.
He's like the dude's tied to the chair and he's like got the kilt on. He's like punching him. He's like I got him in the abandoned building.
I don't remember.
The big Scottish guy. They were like torturing the dude, trying to get that information. Who are they torturing? What was that guy's name?
Is it the guy they cut the finger of?
Yeah.
Okay. I think he was Russian, no?
Oh yeah, he probably was.
Yeah.
He's wearing a kilt though, so I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing? It's Scottish." Cultural appropriation.
Yeah. But there's the arc of the cop, definitely. The one who's discovering what the Continental is.
Oh.
That was good writing here. Like when she walks in and she gives them money and they look at her like, we don't do money here.
Yeah.
This subtlety, you know. And then when she goes and asks for a room, they tell her we're fully booked. So what does that mean? It means if you don't put a coin, they'll just tell you we're fully booked.
Yeah, every time.
So this is like they're building the word, and it's really interesting.
Yeah. Basically, because I mean, it's always the question. Because I think when you watch the movies, you don't actually see a regular person interacting at the hotels.
Exactly.
So one of the questions you always ask yourself is like, well, what would happen if I walked in there?
Yeah.
Here you are. Here's a prequel with this context for you. Now your world is more developed.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and the detective is telling her, do not get in there. Do not get in there. So what are they going to do to her? We'll see.
I like that she's like, oh yeah, we're booked. And she's like, oh really? And she's like, yeah. Do you need like reach in there and get the pin out? But she had her gun in there strapped to her. And she was like, yeah. And she's like, all right, I'll leave. Yes, he will. One way or another.
Yeah, that was interesting. So I
feel,
go ahead.
I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be a cool show. I'm into it. I am gonna go watch episode 2. I do think Winston's character is going to go through some changes, some things. So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Definitely when I was starting to watch it, I wasn't really. I don't know, because you know sometimes you have a feeling when you want to watch something, you're like, I don't want to watch it, right? Like I had this feeling, I didn't want to watch it. I just kind of watching it because we need to review it, right? Or like just to know what's happening. But the quick pacing at the beginning and the things happening really quickly, that was really helpful. And I feel that we're again because back to the attention span thing. Like these are kind of necessary so that you don't want something to be slow at the beginning. Right, because you want to like kind of put the audience on your side and like things happening quickly. So definitely something I am aware of right now. Like if you put something really slow at the beginning, unless I'm in the movie theater, I'm probably not gonna watch it. Like I'm probably gonna lose interest because in the movie theater you have to watch it because you're there, right? It's not like you have options or you have distractions. And, yeah.
That's true. That is something that's definitely a consideration you have to have when you're making like a pilot episode or a movie or something for television, especially. Yeah, attention spans. That initial draw.
Exactly.
You got to make someone sit through 2 hours of this. Is it gonna be worth it?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Any final comments?
Nope.
Yeah. So, yeah, excited for episode 2, and we'll see y'all on episode 2. Thanks for keeping